Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Jen and Sharon. Hi, I'm Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. You look different to me somehow today.
Yeah,
Hey, I see that our trusty showrunner, Jessica, actually managed to change your name to Eka. That's pretty good.
isn't
She
that?
has,
Yeah,
she has next level skills. We are
there we
really,
go.
oh, you should always have somebody in your operation who's a good, couple generations younger than you so that they can help you with these things. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
I always make sure that my hairdresser is younger than me because she helps keep me looking on trend. Same
There
thing,
you go.
same
And
concept.
then, of course, like your parents probably think you're like the world's most incredible genius IT person.
Yes, tech savvy. Yeah. I'm
Right.
so glad I could be that for somebody. So Eka, tell us what we're talking about today, because this was your
Okay,
fabulous
so
idea.
today we are talking about holiday fails and some not so fun adventures that happen at holidays. The problem is, it's not really a problem, but expectations of holidays are always huge, and something always happens, and you either, you know, cry at the time and then laugh about it later, or you brew about it. So we've decided that we're going to bring up these stories and laugh about them, because what else can you do?
Oh my gosh, out of the gate, we already have a comment. Sherry. Sherry has a Hanukkah fail. Was it from this year, Sherry? She ordered my daughter's big wish from a fake website she sent to me.
I hate that.
Okay, Sherry, I did this too. I did it. No, it wasn't Hanukkah. All right, Eka, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the queue because
No,
you
absolutely
have great
not.
stories to tell. But I'm just going to tell you right now, Sherry. About 5 years ago, one of my daughters. Remember when Toms were a big shoe that everybody wanted? It was like
Mhm.
the thing. And my kids know I'm not into name brands. I don't like to pay the price for a shoe, especially a shoe as flimsy as Tom's. Come on, look at those shoes. There's no arch support in those shoes. So my daughter very cleverly said, I found a website where you can get them for a discount. And it was called, and I'm not making this up, cheaptoms.com. And when those shoes came, they were a disaster. They smelled like
Or they
balls.
Toms with two M's.
Oh my God. And we called them ROMs. You got ROMs. And we were still laughing about that. And I had to buy a replacement gift for that because they were just unacceptable in every possible way. So Sherry has another one, a cricket machine. That was what the fake one was, like a fake cricket. Ugh, they're the worst. Okay, so thank you for
Okay.
filling us on this. Okay, so
Yeah.
Eka, tell
Okay.
us.
So
I
I
know you have
start.
some really good stories on this.
I do. So in our family, we name them. We name our stories because we have so many. So the first one I'm going to call Kamikaze Camille. So my
Poor
niece,
Camille, whoever Camille is.
Camille is my niece, and we call her Kamikaze Camille because for some reason she's always getting hurt. So this Christmas, my sister and her family came to our house, and they drove, I don't know how many hours, 6 hours. They got to our house, and it's Christmas time. They drove to our house. We're in the driveway saying our hellos when all of a sudden there's a scream, a blood curdling scream from the second floor. We're outside. She had run through the house, was upstairs on the second floor, had opened the window to say, like, look, I'm here. And the window had crashed down and smashed her fingers.
Oh my gosh. Was there a trip to the emergency room?
So out comes the ice, blah, 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 the whole thing. So like the whole Christmas, she had like swollen, 8 fingers.
Poor Camille. How old was Camille when this happened?
She was probably like 9 or 10.
Oh,
but we call her Kamikaze Camille because there was always something, there was always something with her. But this was the Christmas Kamikaze. So we figured, okay, she got out of the way. But I mean, come on, we're still in the driveway giving hugs. And boom, here goes. And the scream, I think the neighbors heard it. So that was Christmas with Kamikaze Camille.
Oh, I like the alliteration on that one too.
Yeah.
Christmas with Kamikaze.
Okay, so that's mine.
Okay.
Do you have one, Jen?
I have several. It's so funny. When we first started talking about this, I said to Eka, I really only have one great story to tell. And then as we've started to talk about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think there's one per year. I'm remembering other ones that happened. And I think I just totally suppressed these memories. But I will tell you my worst Christmas fail ever.
We're going there. You're not going to wait?
No, I'm going right to the top with this one. The other ones are pretty minor compared to this one. But sometimes we travel for Christmas. We go see my in-laws who live in Wisconsin. And it's lovely. They do big Christmas. I do small Christmas. So my kids like going there because it's like it's everything. It's the tree, it's the presents, it's the food, it's all the everything. It's on steroids. So one particular Christmas when the kids were young teens, we packed up the car, took everything and unpacked and got everything ready. And as I'm like counting up everything that we've unpacked, I realized there is something missing from what we brought. I didn't bring a single present for my kids. There was a whole box in my house with all their presents wrapped, all the things they wanted. There was going to be nothing for them for Christmas from me. The in-laws would have stuff for them. So it wasn't like it was going to be nothing under the tree, but it was going to be pretty light, especially from the mom and dad department. And I bawled. I bawled. I was so upset.
Oh my gosh,
and I came downstairs and I was like, guys, I have something really bad to tell you. And they're like, who died? Did our other grandparents? What happened? What's going on? I'm like, I forgot the Christmas presents. They were so good about it. They were like, Mom, it's okay. We can open them when we get home. It's going to be fine. I felt awful. I still feel awful about it. And I went out to Best Buy that night and like bought a bunch of crap they didn't need, but just so we could wrap it and put it under the tree. I mean, ridiculous. But I just felt like I can't believe I ruined Christmas.
Well, you know what? You could have done the Spanish thing and done Los Reyes, which is on the 6th of January, which is when, like in Spain, they, because the 12 days of Christmas are actually when the wise men and the kings got to baby Jesus. So in Hispanic culture, they celebrate the giving of the gifts on the 6th of January.
I could have done that. And in fact, I think we did do that because by the time we got home, it was close to the 6th. So that's when they opened up all the original stuff.
There you go.
It was, that was pretty insane. I mean, forgetting all the Christmas gifts, I don't know how you're going to top that one, but go ahead, please.
I can't top that one, but I still have my own Christmas fails.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, the next one I called the Jan Brady Christmas. So,
like it already.
So my middle sister, who I love and adore, has Jan Brady syndrome. It's the middle sister.
Marsha. It's always about Marsha.
And so every year with my siblings and their spouses, we do Secret Santa. Mm-hmm. And so that Christmas, I got my sister Jan Brady, and we're just going to call her Jan Brady.
Okay.
And but then I have the little slips of paper, that when we do this exchange, and I put it in my drawer and I hide it. Well, when came time, and we'd done it pretty early, so when it came time to get the gift, or I pulled out the piece of paper and I went, and everyone sends like a Secret Santa with what their wishes are. And so I went and bought the gift. Well, we're all opening presents, and Jan Brady doesn't have a gift. But my youngest sister has 2 gifts.
What? What happened?
I pulled the wrong slip out, and I had saved them for some reason, and I pulled the Secret Santa slip from the year before.
Oh, no.
So my younger sister is like, it's a Festivus miracle. I got 2 gifts, right? And my other sister is crying like, everybody forgets about me because I'm the middle child. And I'm sobbing, she's sobbing. It was a disaster.
Okay, I have the corollary to this story. I'm one of 5 kids. And at some point in our teenage lives, we realized it was ridiculous that we were all buying presents for each other because you get like something that's worth about $2 because that's all you had the money to spend. So we had the great idea, like you did, to do a gift draw. And we all put the names in and pulled the names out. And it turned out that and we weren't going to tell anybody. We're like, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody who you got. Of course, like 2 seconds later, my sister, Kathy, comes up to me. She's like, I got David. Who did you get? I'm like, I got David. And then we're like, going to Laura. We're like, who did you get? She's like, I got David. I'm like, uh-oh. Somebody pulled a fast one on us. So at least we realized it before we all bought David presents. But
right. Well, now when I get a piece of paper, I put the year on it.
Yeah, smart. You see, we learned from our mistakes. And now when we travel, as we're going to do again at some point, right? Someday we can travel again.
Maybe, yeah.
If we ever do that again, I'm going to be checking that car like 8 times. Are the gifts in here? Yes. Are the gifts in here? Yes. Are they in here? Yes. They're still in here. I'm going to check. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So I have one very small Christmas fail but my kids love to tease me about it, which was the year that when you already know that how I feel about stockings. Kind of a pain in the butt. I had let it go a little long before getting the stocking stuffers, and I did that old dash into the dollar store and just like, cleaned off the aisle and got all the stuff, including the candy. And then the kids, they didn't really mind. I mean, they liked the stuff I got them, but when it came time to eat the chocolate, they were like, this doesn't really taste very good. And what is this? And then they look at the label and it says chocolatey Santa, not chocolate Santa, chocolatey.
Oh,
There is no chocolate in there. It's like ersatz chocolate. So yeah, they still are laughing about the chocolatey Santas I got them. So here's my tip from me to you out there. Don't go to the dollar store for the candy. The other crap, fine. Candy, nope, you got to get the good stuff. All right, I think I'm out of Christmas stories,
okay.
Christmas tales. So you got more. Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
let's hear it. This one is called Yuletide Log. Well,
Okay.
so this Christmas, that Christmas, we drove to my sister's house, and she and her husband, she and her family had just bought a new house. I mean, it was an older house, but it was new for them, and they had redone the whole house. They had redone the floors because they had pulled up the carpets, saw beautiful wood floors, redone all the floors. We were going to see it. We were really excited, and for some reason, we decided we were going to take our dog with us, which normally we don't travel with the dog. I think we couldn't find anybody, and so we took her. And in our house, we had a wooded backyard, and so she was used to always going to the bathroom in the backyard. So we take her down there, and it's a 6-hour drive. And so we stop a couple places, and she just won't go to the bathroom. We get to their house, we take her for a walk. She won't go to the bathroom at all.
Oh no.
We take her in the house, and
Oh,
and she goes and she takes like the biggest dump in front of the fireplace. So we're trying to make light of this. I mean, these are their newly like refurbished hardwood floors. My husband's like, she just wanted to leave you a Yuletide log.
Oh no. Oh, I bet you're never getting invited back there.
Oh my God, it was just so awful. And like we were all sitting there because like they didn't even have any furniture in the house yet. And we're all sitting in the living room, like watching her take this dump. And we're like, and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, that is pretty bad.
That was really bad. But that was the Christmas of the Yuletide log.
Running down my face.
I know. I don't know if anybody's listening or not, but boy, are we amusing ourselves.
Oh, we are. We are really okay. Well, actually, I lied. That reminded me that I do have another Christmas.
Okay, so
This is one that is nobody's fault, but it just happens, and I know everybody out here has had this happen at least once in their life. Again, we had traveled to Wisconsin for Christmas. And somewhere along the way, somebody had picked up some kind of intestinal bug. And that was like fire around that house. It started with one kid. Like, she got up Christmas morning and we're like, hey, how you doing? Blah, all over the carpet. And we're like, oh, that's bad. And then like every 4 hours, another one of us fell. It was just like clockwork. You could almost set your watch by it. And of course, that was the end of, Christmas. We're like, okay, we're never getting invited back there after this. It just happens, when you're in a house full of people, these things, everybody's off their game a little bit. It just, that's the downside of traveling during the holidays for sure. So do you have a final story to send us out on?
Oh my gosh, that reminded me of like 100 more, but no,
right?
Like the Christmas where our youngest woke up covered in chicken pox.
Oh,
she said Santa brought her chicken pox for Christmas.
Nice.
And then the Christmas where our daughter got her first ear infection at my mom's house.
Oh yeah.
And my mom had it was like when California, everyone painted their houses California white, so everything was white. Including the carpet where she proceeded to throw up.
Yeah.
Tylenol. Cherry Tylenol.
No cherry Tylenol. Ain't nothing getting that out. Ever, ever, ever.
But you know what? She's a granddaughter. So my mother was like, oh, it's okay. If it had been me, she would have been like, what is wrong with you? But it was her granddaughter. So no, the best story, this one's called The Smartest Kid in the Room.
Uh-oh.
So so it was Christmas and it was Christmas Eve and everybody was playing this game. I think it's called like Around the World or something. It's a ping pong game where you hit the ball and then everybody runs around You know that game? I think that's what it's called.
What could go
So
wrong?
is that what it's called? You know, so you know this game, and you hit the ball, you run, everybody's like fun, fun. My brother trips. My brother trips and he falls on this cabinet, and it takes this like chunk, like right here on his like by his ear.
Oh boy.
And it's bleeding and it's bleeding and it's bleeding, and we're looking at it, doesn't look too bad, and we're just like, what should we do? Should we go to the hospital? Do we? And I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. And so my daughter, who had just come home from her first semester of college, the smartest kid in the room, says, we have a rule, and in my friend group at college, if you're debating whether or not to take someone to the hospital, the answer is always yes.
Oh my God, that is smart. That is so smart. And I don't even want to know how she knows that.
I didn't want to ask either, but she said that's the rule we have in my friend group. So my husband ended up taking my brother to the hospital at 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
Super fun times.
To have his ear sewn up.
Oh my gosh. And they probably were like, good thing you came in because it needed stitches, I bet.
They were like, good thing you came in because it needed stitches. Mm-hmm. And then
good job, smart kid.
Right. Good job, smart kid, smartest kid in the room. And so my husband sat and watched like reruns on like TBC or something while they sewed his ear up. And then he came back and had a big bandage. But then the story gets better. Months later, he's asked like to fill out paperwork from his insurance company, and he does, and he doesn't realize why, because it's considered an accident on our property. So now they want to come back and sue us.
Oh no!
Payment.
Oh, this is the gift that keeps on giving.
It was the gift that kept on giving. So that was like, and so to this day, you know, we revisit the story and we look at my brother's ear that has like a big scar. But it's like on that little weird skin, you know, like that covers the front of it.
Yeah,
it was like flap. That flap thing. That's where it was. So that was
that was flap. It's totally optional.
Yeah, right. And so they're like, wow, normally it must be pretty bad because people don't come in on Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock. Usually they're at church or with their families or whatever. So that was kind of a crazy thing. So that was probably the worst thing, but they were actually very impressed of why he came in, because they told the doctor the story about our daughter saying that, and they were like, well, we don't know what's happening with their friends, but it sounds like they're a pretty smart group of kids.
Yeah, I think you got your money's worth out of the college tuition right there, just for that nugget of wisdom alone. So,
but I mean, think about that. If you are debating whether or not you need to go to the hospital, the answer should always be yes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. That's very good wisdom. All right, so we're leaving you with that little nugget of wisdom.
Holiday wisdom, not just holidays, but holiday wisdom. So this
Sherry, I'm sorry about the cricket disaster. I hope that gets remedied. But
she said she stopped payment and ordered from the right one.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Oh, good for you, Sherry. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what I ended up doing about the cheaproms.com. That was, I'm not sure I was ever able to totally remedy that situation, but I kind of learned my lesson a little bit, although I didn't really, because then like the very next year when I booked us some travel and I went to book our hotel, I somehow unknowingly booked it through hotels.com, and I thought I was booking it directly with the hotel. So when we showed up and I said, I have a reservation, they said, you do not. And I said, but I do. And they said, you don't. And I said, but I booked it here. And they said, you didn't book it here. You booked it. And I pulled it up. They're like, you booked it through this site. And it all worked out. But scams abound out there.
I know. You know what? Now that I think about it, we went to see the Christmas Spectacular with the Rockettes. And I was all excited. I got these great tickets and everything. And they were crazy expensive. And then I realized after you scan it and they actually give you a ticket. And I realized I paid like $75 more per ticket because I bought them from a third vendor, a third party vendor. Not realizing they had put it like above Music Hall, Radio City Music Hall. And I was like, scam, they got me.
Yep. Those people all deserve coal in their stockings. All of them. Every one of them getting coal in your stocking from Santa.
Oh, no. With global warming, there should be no more coals.
Okay, good point. All right. We'll figure out. Some
they should get chocolatey. They should get chocolatey.
They are getting chocolatey Santas in their stockings, and they must eat them. So,
okay.
All right, everybody. We want to hear what your holiday fails have been because it makes us laugh. We just have to laugh about it.
You know what? You know what I used to say? If you can't laugh, then you're going to cry.
Exactly. And I did both today. I laughed, I cried, I had all the feels. Thank you, Aka.
What are you reviewing a movie now?
Yes.
I laughed and cried.
2 thumbs up. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. And
bye, guys.
Good luck.
Have a happy holiday.